Hello, everyone. The purpose of today's session is to review the calibration section of eMaint and how that's configured within our account here. Now, just like any other scheduled activity that's taking place, whether it's inspections, sanitations, preventive maintenance, or calibrations, they're all anchored to the assets within our system, which that allows you to track history on each different unit. Now, in this case, I have a centrifuge, and this is our asset detail view for that centrifuge. And this is where we include our important dates, costs, manufacturer, model, serial number, even down to, say, the last calibration date, which is great for reporting. Now, the way that it works is that every time we set up a calibration, it's included on the scheduled work order side of the system. Okay. Now, for the centrifuge, I have my monthly calibration, and the next time that's going to generate is at the end of this month. Now, when we set these up on the schedule work order tab, think of this like a template. And this is where you can say, this is a monthly calibration for this unit. You can also include really any other related information. Like down here, monthly calibration. We can include some additional context on the detailed description tab, where this can be entire Word documents, spreadsheets, or even just a step-by-step guide of what needs to be performed. Now, on the side of our menu here, we can include this as parts requirements, but we can include tools that we will require, so measurement tools that need to be brought with. This could also include the standards that are being used for reference, as well as different calibration points. So these are our different test points, what we'll be measuring on the work order itself. So in this case, we have temperatures, humidities, all different types of readings. This is where you can specify whether it is a percentage of tolerance type or static. You can say what the test point is. In this case, it's 20 with a tolerance range of 2. And then on the work order itself is where you can add in your as found, as left readings as well. Filling those in on the work order will actually tell you whether you're within tolerance or not. Okay. Now, there are other ways to configure this as well, where maybe we have a true test point, but there could actually be another test point as well, based on the actual device that's being read. So maybe 20 is in a perfect world under certain environmental conditions, whereas maybe 18 is what the tool itself will say that the test point really is. Now, I actually triggered this a little bit earlier today. And when these calibrations are due, they'll trigger a work order that looks something like this. Okay, where this maps over everything that you need on this asset. Okay, again, basic information. It's a monthly calibration, and it also includes all the descriptive details below. Now, over on the right-hand side here, we have two related tables that need to be filled out. Okay, the calibration table maps over all of the different test points that we're reading. Okay, now if this, again, test point is 20, our plus minus tolerance range is 2. If I come in and say that my as found and as left readings register around, say, 17, and I hit update, when we save this, it'll automatically tell me that we are no longer in tolerance. Okay, this can send notifications. This can also update the body of the work order as well to say that there's an issue, and that can be sent to the appropriate parties. If something is in range, okay, again, if we're tracking, I'm going to go with humidity here, but if I indicate that this is something that is within tolerance, again, as found and as left, when I save this, same thing. It'll say that this is currently within guidelines. Now, other than logging your test points, we also want to take note of what measurement tools were used or what standards. And that's where we have a separate table where really your different measurement tools are going to be logged as assets within the system as well. And the reason for that is each of these tools also have their own calibration dates. So what happens is this is a list of all tools that are 1, available, and 2, are within their calibration dates. So what happens here is if I select one of these testers, it should map over the serial number, the next calibration date for this as well. and we can add this to the work order. What this does is it takes that calibrator as no longer available. Here's the other one that we were using, or another one that we could use if needed. Once we've officially used one of these tools, we go back to that same record. We can return this tool to inventory and even select the return location. Hit update. And what that does is, one, it keeps that tool anchored to this order. So you'll be able to see, basically going back into history, where tools were used and when. And now it's also back in inventory to use on a separate order. Now, there's a few things that we can do here. Based off of the work order itself, once everything has been completed, all of our calibration points are responded to, tools were used, what we can do is we can complete this work order, and that will escalate it to a quality or, say, engineering team to review, make sure that there's no issues with quality to product. And then from there, the quality team can go through and close the work order. These are two separate forms which have different permissions. So basically what happens is quality team goes through, they can sign off on this, provide their signature, leave any additional notes, and close out this job. All right, now all of this interaction with the work orders can easily be used for reporting. And that's where this really anchors to your dashboard, where you can see things like open calibrations, ones that are overdue. You can use this to track different types of incidences and what out of tolerance range work orders we currently have, or even tracking back to the tooling that was used. So again, tracking your different measurement tools, you can see on here upcoming tools that need to be used, ones that are currently in use, any that had issues themselves. And we can filter this by type of tool. You could even filter it down by serial number. If there are any questions on the calibration setup within the system, please feel free to reach out to one of your eMaint representatives. Thank you.